Ever get the feeling that, like most career paths are, pick a lane and stay in it?
Yeah.
Today's deep dive is about someone who completely blew past those lines.
Okay.
We're talking Attila Derry, who's not just successful in both architecture and software development, but seems to effortlessly bridge them. You've given us a ton of info on him, so ready to explore what makes this guy tick.
Absolutely. Most people struggle to master one field, right? But Attila's achieved that in two, which is, I mean, it's mind-boggling. It's like he's got this secret code book translating between concrete and code.
Okay, so no pressure, but got to crack that code book today. We've got his bio, project highlights, even snapshots of his coding. Where do we even begin?
Well, I think the first clue's in his childhood.
Okay.
Remember the Commodore 64?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeagley?
Turns out those weren't just games for Attila. It was like early training. And get this, in university, he's mastering ArchiCAD 4.5 way before it was commonplace. It's like he was destined for this path.
Well, everyone else was figuring out how to turn the computer on.
Right.
Right.
Exactly.
So the Attila's early career, pretty classic architect trajectory, right?
Yeah, I mean, you could say that, but don't let the word classic fool you. He cut his teeth at B6 as a structural department manager.
Okay.
But we're talking projects that redefine the skyline, not some suburban office park.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Hold on, we're already at the Burj Khalifa level here. That's straight out of a futuristic movie. Not to mention, it's the world's tallest building.
Yeah, it is. And he's got the construction credits to prove it. But the Burj Khalifa was just the warm-up. He was also instrumental in building the Four Seasons Hotel in Bahrain.
Wow.
And hold on to your hats, the Yas Island Ferrari theme park. That one boasts the world's largest spatial lattice structure. Basically, a giant, intricate puzzle, but made of steel and glass.
Okay, my inner architect is officially geeking out.
It's pretty impressive.
But here's the thing, seeing photos is one thing, but knowing Attila's mind was behind these, like, physics-defying structures.
Yeah.
That's a whole other level of awe-inspiring.
Exactly. And that's where things get truly interesting. We see that technical mastery, right?
Yeah.
But there's also this artistic sensibility woven throughout his work. He's not just making buildings stand up, he's making them breathtaking.
Which makes his pivot to software even more intriguing, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Did he, like, wake up one morning and think, time to ditch the hard hat for a keyboard?
Right.
Was it a gradual shift or something more like a light bulb moment?
I think, here's the thing. It wasn't a hard switch at all.
Okay.
When you look closely, coding isn't a departure. It's an extension of everything he's already doing. It's problem solving, just with different tools.
Right.
Take his real estate analyzer tool, for example.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because trying to find an apartment online is its own WN special kind of chaos.
Oh, tell me about it. It's a nightmare.
So Attila's bringing order to the real estate universe one line of code at a time.
Exactly.
Love it.
Imagine taking that analytical brain it takes to manage these mega projects and applying that to data. Most people just scroll through blindly.
Right.
It's classic Attila seeing a problem and thinking, I can build a solution for that.
And then there's, like, the retro gamer side of them, Atom Remix and Pongify. These sound like something straight out of my childhood arcade.
Right. Nostalgia with a purpose.
Yeah.
Atom Remix takes the classic Atomics puzzle game and reimagines it for touchscreens.
Oh, cool.
Which actually highlights this awesome link between his architectural mind and his coding, when you think about it.
Okay.
Adapting to new constraints, focusing on user experience, it's all there.
Okay, I see it. And with Pongify, he took a game everyone knows, classic Pong, and added these breakout rectangles. Talk about keeping players on their toes.
Right. It's like he's saying, sure, you think you know this game,
Yeah.
but let's see how you handle a curveball.
Right.
But even in these, like, quote-unquote simple games, there's this drive to innovate.
Yeah.
He's not just recreating, he's rethinking the whole experience.
Which brings us to his more technical work.
Yeah.
And bear with me, listeners. I'm no expert.
Yeah.
But we've got something called RAG64, which involves this retrieval augmented generation.
All right.
So what in the world did that mean?
Okay, so picture this. Having a conversation with a computer that doesn't just generate text,
Okay.
but can instantly pull in relevant info from a massive library. That's RAG64 in a nutshell.
Okay.
And the Commodore 64 style, it's like a cool little Easter egg, a nod to where it all began.
I love that he weaves those personal touches in. But then there's TSV to Postgres. Now, that sounds like something you need a special decoder ring to understand.
It's actually more straightforward than it sounds.
Okay, good.
Imagine dealing with huge, messy data sets.
Okay.
In this case, TSV files. This tool smooths things out, converting that data into a format that a PostgreSQL database can easily digest.
So it's like taking a jumbled box of puzzle pieces and sorting them by color,
Yeah.
making the whole thing less daunting. Organization is key.
You got it. And this ties back beautifully to his architectural background. Think about managing huge construction projects.
Yeah.
It's all about organizing countless details, making sure everything fits. That kind of thinking translates perfectly to the coding world.
Speaking of which, let's talk about Attila's commitment to sharing knowledge.
Yes.
His GitHub repositories, ArchiCAD Python API, and Graphisoft ArchiCAD Python script explained. They sound pretty technical.
They are very technical.
But they're actually game changers for other architects, right?
Huge game changers. The ArchiCAD Python API lets you automate and customize architectural design. And Attila's basically, he's laid out the blueprints for anyone to use.
Wow.
He could have kept this knowledge under wraps, but instead he is empowering others to level up their own skills.
That's incredible. And then there's Vizar, which is all about making data visualization and even basic AI accessible to everyone. It's like he's on a mission to break down those walls between complicated information and us regular folks.
Exactly. Yeah, he's not just building tools, he's building bridges. And that's the through line in all his work, from towering skyscrapers to elegant lines of code.
Yeah.
It's about taking something complex and making it understandable, even beautiful.
We've covered some serious ground here. From jaw-dropping structures like the Burj Khalifa to coding projects that make complex data dance.
It's pretty wild.
So before we get lost in the whirlwind of Attila's achievements, help me connect the dots. What's the overarching takeaway here?
I think, honestly, Attila's career throws that whole stay-in-your-lane mentality out the window.
Right.
He shows us what's possible when you embrace both the analytical and the creative, the tangible and the digital.
It's like he's found this secret passageway between two worlds that everyone else thought were miles apart.
Yeah.
He's building bridges, not walls.
Exactly. And those bridges are only becoming more important in today's world, right?
Ah.
We're living in a time where technology is evolving at lightning speed, and the ability to bridge disciplines like Attila does.
Yeah.
That's pure gold.
And he's not hoarding that gold. He's sharing it.
Right.
His open source projects, his commitment to teaching others. It's like he's saying, come on, let's build the future together.
It's incredibly inspiring.
Mm-hmm.
And it makes you wonder, what does a future built by people like Attila look like?
And what does it?
Will we see buildings designed with the help of AI? Cities planned entirely in virtual spaces, then brought to life in breathtaking detail.
Okay, now those are the what-if questions I live for.
Yeah.
It's mind-blowing to think that Attila's work could be paving the way for a future straight out of science fiction.
And the best part is, we're just scratching the surface. Who knows what incredible projects Attila will take on next, or how his work will continue to push the boundaries of what we thought was possible.
One thing's for sure, this deep dive has left me feeling energized, inspired, and maybe just a little bit smarter. Big thanks to you.
Thank you.
And to you, our listeners. Keep exploring those hidden connections, and who knows what amazing things you might create. Until next time, happy diving.